In this video, I'm presenting discussions among my students in relation to two tragedies that recently happened in the USA and Australia. In the discussion, we employ population mental health approach, a framework to reflect what are the systems or structural factors that failed these people in the tragedy. Recently, there were two heartbreaking tragedies, one in the US, another in Australia. In the US, Professor Nolan Williams, an innovative neuroscientist who developed rapid treatment for people with severe depression, dies from suicide at the age of 43 in October 2025. In Australia, in January 2026, 4 people of a family, including 2 children and their 3 pets, 2 dogs and 1 cat, found death in Perth, Australia, in suspected murder-suicide. Professor Williams is most known for developing a rapid version of transcranial magnetic brain stimulation for severe depression, also known as Stanford Neuromodulation Therapy or SNT. The therapy delivers 18,000 magnetic pulses per day for 5 days compared with the 3,000 pulses per day for 4 to 6 weeks in traditional transcranial magnetic brain stimulation. Myself, as a practitioner working in the intervention field, I fully understand how difficult if the therapy lasting 4 to 6 weeks for people coming back. The dropout rate is always very high for this long duration of treatment. So if the treatment can be completed within 5 days, that's absolutely a blessing for people with severe depression. And Professor Williams had the relentless drive to provide better options and more hope for patients suffering severe mental disorder or mental illness. Professor Williams himself suffered long-term depression. Sadly, he died tragically from suicide on the 28th of October 2025. In this tragedy, in Perth, the capital city of Western Australia, 2 parents and their teenage children have been found dead in a Perth suburb in suspected murder-suicide on the 30th of January 2026. At 8:15 a.m. in the morning, emergency services received a distressed call from a person known to the family who had gone to the home. Police arrived at the home to find the bodies of 2 adults, a man, the father, aged 50, a woman, the mother, aged 49, and 2 boys aged 14 and 16. A cat and 2 dogs were also found dead. Friends of the family have revealed the Children's National Disability Insurance Scheme, which is NDIS, funding had been recently cut. Both boys lived with severe autism. One was nonverbal. The parents, cared for their children full-time with very limited support. Friends of the family claimed that the couple was at a breaking point. Look at their beautiful smiles. It's indeed a heartbreaking tragedy. In the tutorial, our discussion focused on 2 questions. How do the 2 cases highlight the emergency of population-level approaches to mental health? What are some systems and structural factors might have supported or failed Professor Williams and the Perth family. In the discussion, we showed our emotions and also discussed interventions related to Professor Nolan Williams' case. The points listed including sadness, appreciation for his contribution in the field to support people with severe mental disorders. Urgency, depression is alongside anxiety the most prevalent mental illness. Probably stigma was a big thing. One, being male. Two, being in the industry, the mental health industry. So maybe feeling embarrassed to ask for help since it is his field of practice. These are two very good points. Being a male is always an issue because traditionally people believe being a male, they should be very strong. They should not reach out to ask for help. And also being an expert in the mental illness research field and treatment field, this may be a factor contributing to Professor Williams reaching out for help. Frustration that he went for so long without any help for his struggles, as well as sadness. So the student feel frustrated and also very sad because of the tragedy. The points of the discussion continues in this slide. With mental health services, you typically have to reach out through hotlines therapy. So if you don't reach out, you won't have access to it. So again, reaching out for help, it's okay to seek help, no matter who you are, what you are doing. Emotional-wise, sadness and some anger coming from a healthcare background and knowing how much help is given to patients, but often not back to those in healthcare staff. Professor Williams worked in the healthcare field, and very often when we talk about seeking help, helping people with strugglings in mental health and also have mental health conditions, often we focus on patients, we focus on clients, and not pay attention to the staff members, the practitioners who may experience mental disorder, mental illness as well, like Professor Nolan Williams. And other students pointed out system failure of accountability. Systematic factor is always a factor contributing to the tragedy like this. This definitely highlights the lack of support from the government, not enough funding and resources in this area. Probably increasing that would be a great start. Increasing funding in supporting people suffering mental health and mental illness, that may be a starting point. That's a very, very good point. And of course, early intervention as well. So these are the points students pointed out, discussed how we can support people like Professor Nolan Williams. This is the snapshot of the whiteboard where we discuss in relation to the tragedy of the Perth family. So what are the barriers, service barriers, and what we can do? And students believe lack of government and community support is one of the factors contributing to the tragedy. And also disability support gaps. For example, the National Disability Support Scheme funding was cut recently to the family. So this is maybe contributing an important contributing factors to the death of the family. And also financial barriers, lack of resources to support the family, barriers to access mental health care, accessibility issues for the children with disabilities. So these are the resources regarding to support, and also financial support as well as emotional support. We can imagine with two kids with severe autism, one was nonverbal. The emotional burden must be very, very high for the parents. They were not able to go to work, become full-time carer without income coming to the family. Financial issues became a big problem as well. And also students identify social isolation, societal judgment, and assumptions, and normalizing untreated distress. This is a very good point. For example, many people may think, yeah, yes, I am depressed, but it's okay. But very often, it's not okay. It is okay to seek help. It is not okay to normalize untreated distress. And also community fears of mental illness, lack of understanding or acceptance, and stigma about assessing health when you have wealth. And this is, I give some background about this case. The family lived in a suburb where the housing price is rather high. So because they live in such a suburb, they may feel it's embarrassing to seek help. And so this is the stigma when you have wealth, and you may think seeking mental health support, seeking government support, it's a stigma, it's embarrassing. But please, please seek help, no matter who you are, what you are doing. So what can we do from a population level? Advocate within the system. As a psychologist, we are not just a consultant sitting in the consultation room. We may need to go out to do some advocacy work, to support people, to advocate for these people in need within the healthcare systems. And also family counseling, providing family counseling to support the entire family instead of just focusing on the children. Support groups with people experiencing similar situations. This is a very good point. Establishing support groups that may help people to share their experience so they understand they are not alone at all. There are so many people on the same boat. Providing education to recognize warning signs. This is also important, the early intervention, so people have mental health literacy. Understand what is the warning signs, what is the tipping sign, and also reduce stigma through education. Again, this is early prevention as well. So people feel it's okay to seek help, no matter who I am, what I am doing. It is okay to seek help. We also discuss considering the real world complexity. What can we do from a population mental health perspective? So there are lots of ideas there, including systems, improving, enhancing healthcare, mental health care systems, and social policy related to supporting people suffering mental illness, and system-based approach, and also governance. So improving the structural care for mental health is important. And also enhance accessibility to mental health care, and also access to mental health resources and remote access as well, particularly, for example, in Australia, lots of people living in regional, rural, and remote community, then how to support these people to access healthcare, mental health care is important as well. And also regarding, for example, we talk about isolation, community is a key, is the key for improving mental health. Support group, so that people with similar situation and with life experience can come together to support each other, acknowledging unique experiences of every individual, and also community and population resources to mental health. Decrease stigmas, for example, develop more programs to support people to minimize stigmas of mental health, and improve community connection as well, and using holistic approach, not only focus only one factor, but the holistic approach using biological, psychological, and social factors. There's a BPS at the corner. There is two abbreviations, BPS. That's the biopsychosocial models, and also it's the biosocial models again. And also the SEM, that's the social ecological model as well. So these are the ideas from my wonderful students regarding how to overcome, how to deal with real world complexity using a population mental health perspective. Thank you so much everyone for watching this video. I really want to thank my students and who have inspired me as well during the discussion. Before I close this video, I would like to pay my tribute to Professor Nolan Williams and the Perth family. Rest in peace.